but during June, I definitely acquired a plant or two, you could say. I'm gonna make this the thumbnail. Hi, I'm Michaela and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm gonna be showing you my July plant favorites. Okay, so my favorites this month are mostly, they're pretty much all plants. I haven't really tried any new plant supplies this month. I've just been kind of doing the same old thing, so nothing new to add there, but I have acquired quite a few plants in the last couple of months. I don't think during July, but during June, I definitely acquired a plant or two, you could say. So most of these are new plants. I probably haven't shown a whole lot on here, so yeah, but some of them I did unbox in a video, I believe. Okay, so the first thing, I think I've mentioned these before, but I have been having so much fun watching these little corms grow. I got these from a local shop, Lawson Plant Co. And I think she said they were variegated Amazonica corms, but I don't remember. So yeah, I'm just having a fun time looking at these little green sprouts. I hope that they root and everything. We'll see. I'm not an Alocasia expert, but I would really like to be. I've been really fascinated with them lately. I think they're so pretty. The only one that I can really keep alive well is my green Frydek. I know there's another name for it, but I have a hard time keeping track of that name. So when I say Frydek, you guys know what I'm talking about. It is what it is, and I'll put the real name on the screen, but that's really the only one that I have an easy time taking care of. Ever. Well, I guess I used to have a couple of them, but I got overwhelmed with my plant collection a couple of years ago and gave them to my mom, and they're doing so much better with her anyway, so I can enjoy them when I go visit my mom. Okay, and on that note of Alocasia, this is probably my favorite this month, and that is my Variegated Frydek, or I guess just a Frydek. So if you watched my, it was like a vlog video I did. It was probably, I think I filmed it exactly a month ago. I unboxed this, and look at this new leaf. This unfurled earlier this week, and it is so pretty. But this plant is just so beautiful and striking and unique. And it doesn't even really look real. It's almost like, how's this a plant? But anyway, my friend Crystal found this at a nursery near her, and she was nice enough to mail it to me. And it was packaged really well, and it did great, even though it was really, really hot here when it was in the mail. So in the next couple of days, I'm planning on repotting this and seeing if there's any corms in here, and I'm hoping there are. I'm also kind of nervous because it's doing well and it's putting out new leaves, so I almost hate to disturb it. But I don't know how much longer I can hold out on not digging for corms. Okay, my next favorite is my Syngonium chia pets? Macrophyla? Macrophyllum? I know the names of these plants, but when I sit down to film and start talking about them, the names leave me and I get stage fright, even though I'm here in my house talking to myself. yeah, so whichever one this one is, I need to verify and then I'll put it up here. This is one of my July favorites. It is just so pretty. These leaves are like kind of like suede or like leathery, and it's a little bit, where I have it now, it's a little bit too close to the window, so there's a little bit of bleaching going on, but it is still just such a cool plant. I have it in, oh, that looked so creepy. I'm gonna make this the thumbnail. Okay, so I have it in an east-facing window, and when I go out to my greenhouse or come back in from my greenhouse, I can see it in the window. It's like right up against it, and I just like looking in and seeing all my plants in the window, especially this one. But it is really, it is loving life in an east-facing window. And then my next favorite, you probably saw me unbox this and I can't seem to quit taking pictures of it, talking about it, is this one. It's the variegated version of this plant. So this one is from Aroid Market, and I did do an unboxing of this plant and a couple of other ones. Oh, I have a rickrack cactus in here with it for some reason. Yeah, I don't know why that is, but who knows? But it is starting to get some roots. So that's good to see. But this is just something about this variegation. It's kind of like the Frydek, where it just, there's something about it that's a little bit different. Like this leaf is definitely a different texture than a lot of plant leaves are, and it just makes the variegation really very striking, I guess you could say. I'm trying to come up with the right words, because like a Monstera albo has kind of similar looking variegation to this, but it looks completely different just because of the leaf texture. And we have a new leaf coming in, and it seems to be doing really well. I'm resisting the urge to kind of unroll this leaf and see what it's gonna look like. I'm gonna refrain. But I'm so happy with this plant, and it's gonna be put into soil soon, and I'll probably stick it on a moss pole or something, but yeah, it's just so pretty. Maybe I'll see if I can make a thumbnail. I feel so silly when I do that. Oh, I'll get one on each side. Here we go. Why am I leaning forward so much? Sit up straight, Michaela. I look ridiculous. Also, I feel like I don't look like myself in these glasses. I did something to my other ones. I think what I did was clean them with something I wasn't supposed to clean them with, but it's too late now, and I've kind of torn them up, so I need to look into getting different ones. I have these in the meantime, but they're just all, I scraped or scratched the frame really bad, and now when I look in the mirror at myself in them, it's all I can see. I know it's probably not that noticeable, but I think it's very apparent. But anyway, I feel like I just don't look like myself in these clear glasses, but it is what it is. Okay, so the next one, I've actually gotten a lot of questions about this plant lately, so I feel like it's kind of making a comeback as far as plant popularity goes. But that is my Philodendron tortum. And I've also just really been enjoying it because it's been growing these really big leaves, and they've been coming in really fast too. And it's probably not going to focus on this very well, so I'll see if I can get just some different shots of it so you can really actually see it, because it is really so cool. And I got this one from Lawson Plant Co. last summer, I believe. I get a lot of plants from them. They have really good plants, so I'll link their site and stuff. And if you're ever in the market for some really cool plants, definitely give them a follow. That's where this is from. I have this sitting in my dining room in front of an east-facing window, and it absolutely loves it, and it throws the coolest shadows onto the wall back behind it, and it's just such a cool plant. It's unlike any other plant really, and I was really not a fan of this until I saw it in person. I think it was maybe 2021. This was like the plant that everybody wanted. They were really expensive and I just did not get it. I'm like, I have no desire. I have no desire. That just doesn't, looks weird to me. It looks like something that would grow in space or something. I don't really know. What kind of plants do they have in space? I don't know. Honestly, I try not to talk about or think about space very much because it kind of freaks me out. Like there's no way we're alone. There's so much stuff out there. There's more. There's definitely something else out there, and it freaks me out to think about it. So thank God it's daytime. If it were nighttime right now, I could just forget about sleeping because I started talking about space too late. But yeah, Philodendron tortum, we got off on a really weird tangent, but that usually happens. And the new leaves, they kind of come in, I think it might be focusing on it. They come in like a pink mauve type of color, and it's very cool. And watching them unfurl is so strange. There's just, a plant like this, there's no way for the leaf to unfurl gracefully, I don't think, but I'm gonna see if it can catch the, I might have to turn it around. I don't know what it's focusing on. I'm trying to show like the skinny little leaves all furled up in here. It's so weird. Yeah, I love that one. And I love the plant pot combination too. I feel like this is the perfect pot for it. I don't really know why, but it just looks so good in there. So my next one, this one, I'm really excited about this one. So this was kind of a plant that I just thought I would never ever own. I could admire it from afar. When I was first getting into plants, this was the plant, and it was going for like thousands and thousands of dollars, and I saw a picture of a big mature one on Pinterest and I was like, oh my gosh, that's incredible. I need one of those plants. But then I got a reality check. Once I figured out what it was and started searching for it, it was apparent that that was never going to happen. But luckily, as we plant people know, the plant prices have really come down lately, which I don't mind at all. I know some people have seen the prices come down and they're like telling everybody, don't buy any plants. It's a bad investment. I'm like, if you like a plant, it's not a bad investment if the price is lower. And I am saying this as a plant seller. So, I don't know. I don't need something to be like really popular. I think it's good that the 2020 plant craze has cooled down a little bit. That was pretty wild. I don't know that any of us were making sound, logical decisions at that point. So more reasonably priced plants really just means you can buy more plants. That's my thought anyway. I guess I just needed somebody to talk to this afternoon. So the plant I was alluding to is this Philodendron spiritus-sancti, and this is a little baby one, but I cannot wait to watch this thing grow up. I have it out in my greenhouse in a little hanging basket, and it is growing a new leaf, if you can see it. So hopefully this will be a nice big new leaf. I think that having it in the greenhouse is going to hopefully prompt some nice mature growth on this plant. but I'm excited to see what this looks like a year from now. And I also got this one from Lawson Plant Co. The next one, yeah, you can see it back here. I talk about this all the time, but this is the plant that when I go out into the greenhouse, this is the first plant I look at. That's my Philodendron Jungle Fever. I can't get enough of these variegated leaves, just variegated plants in general. I can't get over it. So this I think I got it in May. Yeah, I did get it in May. I got this from Hickory Lane Plants. They kept posting it on their Instagram story, just like taunting me. And nobody was buying it, I guess, for whatever reason. I don't know. I can't understand that. But they had a sale, and I figured, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and call that my sign. And I couldn't decide whether I should go get it or not. I just couldn't decide, so my husband was like, just go get the plant. And this was right around the time we were trying to get May more used to being around other people, so we took May with us, and she was mostly good. She didn't bite anyone, she didn't knock anything over. But anyway, I've gotten probably 3 or 4 new leaves on this thing since then, and I don't think the camera's going to pick this up, but the veins on the back of the leaves are like pink. You can kind of see it on the front of this leaf. But I think, I could be wrong, but I think this is like a variegated snowdrift. I don't think that's right. I don't know. Anytime I put this in my Instagram story, I get so many questions about it, and I can't believe that nobody bought this before I did, because I could not decide about it. But this is one of my all-time favorite plants now. And it's got like kind of scallopy edges. It's just so cool. So my last favorite is my Monstera Oreo. This thing has taken off. I think that I imported this, and I think it arrived maybe in like March or something, and it was just little cuttings, and I wasn't even sure it was going to make it, but it's put out probably, I want to say like 6 leaves this month. Once it got good and established, there's no slowing it down. And I've definitely heard people talk about like browning and reversion on these. That I've not really had issues with that thus far, and I do have some pretty big pieces of sectoral variegation like on this leaf. I've not had issues so far, but I've maybe had this plant for 6 months, so I can't really say. It does live out in the greenhouse, so it gets a lot of bright light. So I do think that helps a lot with variegation, and nothing dries out too terribly much and stays dry out there. So I think that helps me a lot with browning on plants like this, because my albo that I have out there it gets a little bit of browning, but usually on lower leaves that aren't getting as much light. So I really think light plays a huge role in that, as well as consistent watering, so not letting it get really dry and staying really dry. That's just what I've observed. I know that there are people who say the opposite, so it's really just about learning to care for plants in your environment and learning to experiment and learning to communicate with your plants. I know that sounds weird to say. What I mean by that is just like learning to observe your plants and seeing what they need from what they're showing you. You know what I mean? So, and it's different for everyone, but that's my opinion. This, I know I shouldn't be doing this. Can you see? I think this had variegation on it. I can't tell in here. Oh, and it's getting another new leaf. right here. This thing just will not stop. I almost need to repot this again. I can feel the roots, and it's already broken this pot. Or maybe I broke that somehow. I don't know. Either way, it's currently broken. But yeah, I'm so excited to have this plant. This was one of my biggest wish list plants for a really long time, and it did not disappoint. I love it when that happens, because a lot of the time you'll see like these perfect pictures of a plant on Instagram, and then you get one in your house and it's just not quite what you were hoping it was gonna be. This is not one of those. This definitely lives up to the hype in my opinion, but I love yellow variegation. Yellow is one of my favorite colors, so, and it's a way to have a positive experience with the color yellow on plants, because usually like yellowing leaves isn't a good sign, but if it's like an Oreo variegated plant, it is. So yeah, that's a weird thing to say, just like everything I've said. Okay, so this is the only thing that is not an actual plant, and that is this Philodendron art print, and this is by an artist, what is her name? Irene Illustrations? Irene Illustrations? Oh, I need to clean this. So I will link her Instagram. I found her on Instagram. She has an Etsy shop, and these are watercolor paintings, and she has a lot of videos on her Instagram of her painting these leaves, and it is so cool to watch. I'm a little embarrassed to say I've had this for almost 2 years, and I just now got around to hanging this up in my dining room. So yeah, finally, I'm so happy to finally have these up. I have a couple more and I'll show you. This one was just the easiest to get to. And I love how it looks in this frame. I got this frame at the thrift store, and I should get like a real photo mat. This is actually just a file folder that I had. It's probably not even centered, to be honest, but don't look too close. Pretend I didn't say that. Yeah, it's not centered, but I don't really care about stuff like that. I think the art print is the star of the show here, but I really should get a real photo mat instead of a file folder. You use what you got. You just gotta be resourceful, you know? But I think these drawings are so beautiful, and it's a good way to have plants where plants would not normally survive. So yeah. Okay, so I think that is all of my July favorite plants. I haven't done a favorites video in a spell. I don't remember why. I know I got to the end of one month and then combined another month and then skipped the following month. And now we're back on track. I really do like making these because it's a good way for me to keep track of, I mean, you know how you have just like favorite things during a period of time. I like to just look back and see what was my favorite at the time, and yeah, it's a good way to be more intentional with my plants and just like being present and making sure to enjoy some of my plants rather than just only keeping track of the care, because this is what's fun about plants, is having something that you enjoy, and it's easy to get caught up in just how much work it is to care for a large collection, but I think it's really worth it. I love doing it, and yeah, I think this is the first recent favorites video where my dogs didn't start barking or like something weird didn't start happening. There was one time there was just like a stolen vehicle got just like abandoned in the road, and there was a bunch of cops that came up. I'm trying to remember which video that was. That happened one time. And something else happened another time. Yeah, you never know what's gonna happen in my plant favorites videos. So that is gonna be it. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully I didn't ramble too much for you. that's just what a conversation with me is really like. So thank you so much for watching. Oh, I forgot. So I'm also gonna say you all are my July favorite also, just because of all the support on my new website, and everybody was so nice, and it went way better than I would have expected at this point. So thank you so much, and I've gotten so many nice comments and messages lately. I just really appreciate it, so thank you so much. I think I said that in my last video, so yeah. Anyway, that is gonna be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please like and subscribe and follow me on Instagram at Queen City Tropicals, and I will see you again soon.